Hi guys, I had a request for graphing exponential growth and decay, so I'm doing this video. So we are graphing exponential growth and decay. So this is an exponential decay equation, and we know that because 3/5 is between 0 and 1. So if this number, the number that has the power of x, is between 0 and 1, then this is decay, which means that right now this graph is facing the wrong direction. This green line here that they've put in for you, that's the asymptote. So this graph will never cross this line. And that's just always going to be a 0. So don't move it. It just stays where it is. The only way this would move is if you had like a +3 out here, then it would move up to 3. So if you were adding or subtracting something out here, then the asymptote would move, but we're not doing that. You'll do that in Algebra 2. Don't worry about it now. So we're not doing that. So this green line, this asymptote, is always just going to stay where it is. So don't move that. The only thing you're going to be moving are these two dots. So the first thing I want to talk about is the 10. This 10 is the y-intercept. So remember, it's our starting value in a word problem. It's our y-intercept in a graph. So I'm just going to take this and I'm going to move it up here to 10. Okay, so that's my first one. I always know that whatever is out here is my y-intercept. So that's kind of the easy part. Then I need to find one more point because I have to put this somewhere, right? So I need one more point. So there are multiple ways to do this. Probably the easiest way would be to just pick an x, plug it in, and then plot that. So we want something that's going to give us a nice whole number. If I put in x is 1, right, then I just have 3/5 times 10, because that'll just go away. 10 divided by 5 is just 2, so that's my denominator is going to go away. So I want that. So I think putting in 1, and often putting in 1 is going to be your easiest thing to do. Just put in 1. The only reason to not put in 1 would be if for some reason you have a situation where that gives you a fraction and you don't want that. So, yeah, easiest thing to do would be to put in 1. Let me check something really quick. Yeah, you have to get a whole number. This won't let you plot fractions. Sometimes they will on Khan Academy and sometimes they won't. So I had to check. You can't plot fractions, so you need to make sure you're getting a whole number. So you can do a guess and check. So in this case, putting in 1 for x will give us a whole number. And so that's fine. That's good. We don't have to go any further. But say that gave us a fraction, then just go ahead and put in 2 and see if that gives you a whole number. And keep going until you get a whole number. There should be a fairly easy way to get a whole number because Khan Academy is usually good at picking nice numbers. So I don't think you should have to go too far to get a whole number. So we're going to put in 1 for x here. So if I let x equal 1, then I have 10 times 3/5 to the 1. 3/5 to the 1 is just 3/5, so I can just omit that. I don't need it. So I'm just doing 3/5 times 10. As I said earlier, 5 goes into 10 2 times, so I can just cancel the 5 with the 10, and I have 2 left. So now I have 2 times 3, which is 6. So when x is 1, y is 6, or g of x, which is y in this case. So y is 6. X is 1 because we plugged in 1 into x, and we got 6, so y is 6. So x is 1, so we're coming over here, right? X is 1 and up to 6. And that is what our graph is supposed to look like. Okay, so quick recap. The number in front is our y-intercept, and then we plug in an x, usually 1, because that's the easiest, and then we plot it. Whatever we get for when we plug in x, that's our y. So we plugged in 1, we got 6. So x was 1 and y was 6, and we just plot that. Okay? Hope that helps. Go ahead and check this and move on to the next question I want to see. Okay, let's talk about scale really quick. Because here they're giving us 1 block every fourth, every 0.25. So this is a half, right? 0.5 is a half. So halfway in between that and 0 is going to be a fourth. So we get fourth, half, 3/4, 1. So that's our scale on this one. So even though this is 3/4 and I said we couldn't have fractions, in this one, because of the way that they've scaled it, we can have fractions if the denominator is a 2 or a 4, because this is cut into fourths, right? So we have our halves and we have our fourths. So we can do that. So 3/4, right, is 0.75 or 3/4, right? So 1/4, 2/4, 3/4. So our y-intercept is here at 3/4. And then we can plug in 1. So we get 2 times 3/4. If we cancel these, we can cancel the 2 and the denominator becomes a 2. So let me write that out real quick. So 3/4 times 2, cancel, this becomes a 2, right? Divide both of them by 2. And so we have 3/2, which is 1.5. So x is 1, y is 1.5. So x is 1, remember, is now over here. Wasn't over here before, like it's not the first block. It's 4 over because of the way that they've scaled it. So make sure you're paying attention to that. And then 1.5 is up here. So basically pay attention to your scaling. This is exponential growth. We didn't need to figure that out in order to graph it though, because the way, once we plug something in, the number that we are given is going to be correct. We didn't need to know that this was growth, but it is in fact growth. So that's cool. So that's, yeah. So just making sure that you're paying attention to how everything is scaled. This is scaled by 1 again, so that's fine. All right, I'm done talking now. Hopefully that helps, and let me know if you have any questions, and I will see you in the next video.